And now let's talk about NNPC Foundation. They say they have projects for social impact. We have the managing director of NNPC Foundation, Mrs. Emanuela Arukwe, joins us from our Abuja studio. Good morning, Ms. Arukwe, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me here today.
Great. So, I mean, a lot of people hear NNPC, and of course, everybody think of oil and gas, but I guess the foundation has a different story, and now you are launching, or you have launched, a cataract excision program. Why did you choose this area to intervene in the social space in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. NNPC Foundation is the social impact arm of NNPC, and our critical areas of focus is health, education, environment, and also access to energy as an energy company. One of the reasons why we chose cataract is because cataract is one of the preventable diseases that causes blindness. And in Nigeria, about 43% of cases of blindness are caused by cataract, and it's one of the areas people don't really look out for. And so we felt it's really one area, if you could source sight to people, especially the indigent and underserved communities, that will help the economic group. Because when people are blind, they're completely cut off from economic development. So that's one of the areas we felt is a quick intervention, because you can do the surgery and get people eyes restored. So that's why we chose that particular area.
So how does it work? People want to be part of this program. How do they get on board?
Okay, this is a program that's across the 6 geopolitical zone, and we had done the first stage, and it was very successful. That was in the Ogun State and Lagos State. That was in January, and so we had over 1,002 people who had been operated upon. So we are in the southeast and the southwest. We've really done a lot of intervention. I'm glad to say that a lot of people have come on board, and we are doing it in various locations. We have our jingles, we've interacted with everyone. So all you need to do throughout this week, screening is going on in the locations. And so what you just need to do, nothing, you don't need to register, you don't need to do anything. Just get there early before 9 o'clock. Screening starts by 9, and then once you're tested positive for cataract, you'll be penciled down for the surgery, which commences on the 7th. That's next Monday. So we are doing this program in the prevalent areas of cataract. We are doing the southeast. We are in Abia State. We are in Ebonyi State. And then we have some other areas in both Anambra and also Imo State. But the major places this is going on, it's in Ebonyi State and also in Ebonyi State and also in Abia State. For the south, in Goa, it's a lot of places. We have a lot of cataract in Bayelsa. So we are in Bayelsa, and also we are doing it in Rivers and Cross River. We started this Rivers and Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa. We started since Monday. That's 2 days ago, and we'll be running throughout this week. So all you just need to do is just to come into the centers, and then you'll be attended to. And if you're positive, we would go ahead to pencil you down for the surgery that commences next week, 7th. And everyone who tests positive will be operated upon. So you just have to make sure you get there. We still have about 4 days to run this project this week for the screening. Thank you.
Oh, interesting, Ms. Arukwe. So, but I guess people, even if I was in Abia State, I would like to know, like, where are the centers, more details for people to be able to go there. Perhaps some people might even need to travel. If you're in Umuahia, for instance, and an individual in Aba would like to participate, something like that, to guide individuals who would be interested in this.
Well, the centers are well located. We've been on the news. The centers, for example, in Umuahia, we are in the Catholic Mission Hospital in Umuahia. We're also in Aba. We have the center. For this time around, when we did Lagos and Ogun State, we had to move around to different centers just to have the wider coverage. In Umuahia, we have in Umuahia and Aba. Most states, we have more than one center, and all the center locations are already there. And right now, we already have enough people coming out to test from different places. because we've done a lot of mobilization. We started the mobilization over the weekend, and all the television stations, the radio stations, and we went through the churches, went through the local chiefs and the local heads. And so we have a lot of turnouts. We're having a lot of turnout. We expect to even exceed the targeted numbers.
Okay, so the surgery will also hold at the same center in the different states, but that will be next week, I guess.
Yes, once you test in the same center, the surgery will be holding back in the same center. Once you test positive, you'll be operated on the same center, yes.
All right, so other than this cataract excision, is there any other program we're expecting from NNPC Foundation?
Yes, NNPC Foundation, we have a lot of programs. We have a lot of programs we're running in these areas of intervention. Our focus area, which is really education, health, environment, and also access to energy. Right now, this month, we are running some projects concurrently. We've started since last month to distribute STEM books. That's the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's the STEM books. And so we are working in the junior secondary school and senior secondary school. This is the second phase. Last year, we did that project in 15 schools across 12 states and 3 in the Federal Capital Territory. And now the project is started already, and we are commencing the second phase by next Monday, that's 7th of this month, to distribute books to 25 schools all across 24 states and also the Federal Capital Territory. We are distributing 1,000 books and also 1,000 books for the whole state. That will bring us to 40,000 books across the geopolitical zone. This is just a pilot project we are running in STEM, because you know STEM education is the way to go, because that's what most countries are practicing, and it's one method you can make a country technologically advanced and sufficient. So we are running this project, and we're also going to be doing mentorship and also training of the teachers, and also we are coming up with our STEM quizzes. So apart from this project that is going on starting next week, we also have other projects like the farmers. We have the vulnerable farmers, training of the vulnerable farmers across the 6 geopolitical zone. Most of our projects, like Cataract, is run across the 6 geopolitical zone. I had said we are running in the southeast, southwest, southeast, and south-south. We'll be going for even the Cataract project in the northwest, north central, and northeast, starting from May, because of the Salah period and all that fasting. So with the farmers again, we are doing it across the 6 geopolitical zone. We intend to train 6,000 farmers. And right now, we are commencing in the southeast, south-south, and southwest. And so this is another program I will be commencing next week. And so we are training farmers in the best method of making sure they have the best technology, innovation, climate change, different technologies they need to do. And after this, they will be given seedlings. Because in foundation, we look at sustainable development, so look at sustainable technology. It's one thing to give farmers seedlings if they don't know how to use it, and you will not get the best yield. So rather than teach people to fish, teach people to give people fish, you teach people to fish. Because we want to make sure the farmers understand the technology to have the highest yield, preserve their crops, and then we can give them seedlings. So we have a lot of projects lined up in the foundation, but these are the projects that are coming on this April right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the word sustainable in giving that your programs and all of that. So I guess that the foundation would have sustainability in focus, and as well as targeting especially Nigerians or residents in the rural part, because they seem to be those who are mostly left out of a lot of programs and intervention, both from the government and even the private sector, NGOs.
Yes, that's what the foundation is targeting. We're not looking at rich farmers, we're looking at vulnerable farmers. So we are working with the local government, we are working at the cooperative societies, we are working with our consultants to make sure that this is given to the rich vulnerable farmers, not rich farmers, farmers that don't have access. So we are training them how to make sure that they have the best yield, what they need to do, and how to protect their crops. And then we'll give them those who qualify based on the criteria set, will be given seedlings and monitor to make sure that they're able to produce. It's the vulnerable farmers. And our locations are really based on where these vulnerable farmers are located and where farming is actually going on. So it's cuts across the nation. I'm sure we'll be able to have more than 6,000 farmers coming on board. Thank you.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes interventions, we've seen it turn to disaster in some cases, and in other cases, issues of is it the people who should get this help that are getting it? So I wonder how the foundation is ensuring that you actually reach the people who need it. You're not going through third parties so that it's being diverted or sentiments are being applied in sharing these benefits.
Well, the programs we've launched, we use a very credible thing, like what we are doing with the NYSC program, because NYSC is a veritable group. So we are going through actually the local government, not really that, we're going through the cooperatives, and we have our consultants on ground working with the cooperatives. Also, yes, we work with the local authorities, but we are really going through the cooperatives to make sure that the farmers are. That's why we are looking at the areas where farming is actually taking place, and people on board are people who are already on board the cooperatives. Because really, if you're on board the smaller cooperatives that they have for people who are farming, it's easier to reach you. So we are looking at verifiable data than just leave it open. As much as possible, we try as much as possible to make sure we work with credible people, and we do a lot of verification in our jobs, verification in what we do. So that's why in every project we run, we're on the field. Apart from our consultants there, as the staff are there on field, monitoring and making sure. And we always go back to evaluate and have our projects evaluated by independent parties. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Emanuela Arukwe, Managing Director of NNPC Foundation. Wish you the best, as you go out there to make impacts.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll be looking at that CBN's review of allocation of terminals, what it might mean to the oil and gas sector. That's after the break. Stay with us here on Business Morning.
There are places you would like to go. There are faces you would like to see.
My palm is bruised. It's a tiny scar, but it's very painful.
Too many exciting things happening all